Yeah, no, I did. You're still here. Don't worry.
Okay. This
All
meeting
right.
is being recorded. Okay.
Yeah, you got it on that one. All right. Welcome in GFL podcast number one for the 2023 season. I'm here with my man Caleb Cox wearing a Samuel Adams shirt, rocking the hat. By the way, I've got the same one. It's just got a little bit more efficiency built into it, as you can see. How you doing, Caleb?
Efficiency. Oh man, it's a nice lazy Sunday. Sitting here watching some football. We're doing a little cleaning around the house.
What I like.
It's nice and cool outside. It's not 120 degrees, so you can get some shit done.
I heard you guys got a little bit of a cold front that blew in. That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, it was shoot, probably somewhere in the high 50s, I think, in the morning whenever I got up yesterday and today. It was very
Man,
nice.
that's I want to say that's colder than Serbia right now. We're pushing. I think today was about 74. If anybody
Oh
cares
wow.
about the weather out
So
here.
nobody cares about over there.
Hey.
Um, but shoot, I think during the day it got up to like mid 70s or something like that. But yeah, dude, in the morning felt very nice. I walked out in shorts and a t-shirt and it felt great.
Yeah. No,
Sorry,
that's one thing
I'm watching football over here, so it's kind of hard to.
well, it's a beautiful time to actually do the podcast, right? Because we can take a look at the scoreboard and see who's winning here. Looks like broken knees. Patrick Sherrick is up on us, which we were projected to win, and we're still
Dude,
projected to win.
that's his team still being able to be 3-1 is mind blowing with the injuries he's had to deal with. Me and him were talking about that yesterday, watching that terrible. Sorry, Pete and Chad, to bring this up, but that terrible game yesterday.
What
That
happened?
the Red River rivalry. We ended up losing, dude. We were up by 3 with a minute 17 left, and they drove down the field in a minute and scored a touchdown.
Yeah, look, I didn't see what happened because I was sleeping, obviously, but I did hear there was some sort of bad call from the refs or something
Oh,
happened.
there was a couple bad calls, a couple no calls that should have been called. Texas definitely did not play a good game either. Their defense,
How, how the
the
quarterback
quarterback.
played, right? Because we got to put Arch in there.
Ours are theirs. Viewers, no, dude. I think the furthest pass he threw downfield was like maybe 20 yards,
That's
25
pretty
at
good.
most.
You could still sling it
But
about 20, can't you, Caleb?
I could throw a quarter mile over the mountains, baby. But yeah, I mean, missed opportunities. Our defense, dude, their quarterback had all day to throw all day long. They got no pressure to him for nothing. It was, and to only lose by 4 is still amazing. And we had a chance at 2 easy interceptions and just in the hands dropped. It
It
was
happens,
just
huh?
terrible. Yeah, it wasn't our day. So next year, hopefully, maybe we can, because it's probably going to come down to us too in the Big 12 championship, and hopefully we can come back on it and get some redemption. But time will tell. We'll see what happens. Fuck OU. It's what time is it? 12:56, and they still suck.
There we go. There's the classic line.
What time is it over there right now?
Oh, it's about 8 o'clock, Brate. It's about 8 o'clock here.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm glad you're finally able to hop on about another half hour from now. I probably would have just called it and said, I'm going to bed.
shoot.
We
I
had
mean, he was just fighting it.
Braxty. Yeah, he knew what was going to
Mm-hmm.
happen. He was like, I don't want dad on the internet putting his voice out there publicly. I don't want my dad shamed. So I don't blame the kid.
I know. I don't blame him either. He's got to grow up with this for the rest of his life, so he might as well get used to it.
You're a pretty good guy, though. We love you, Caleb. You made a really good impression out here in Serbia. Everybody loved you. And
Oh, really?
yeah, I think Ivana said, which hurt me a little bit, but she said that Caleb's a better country dancer than you. And I said, well, Caleb's better at a lot of things than a lot of people. Unfortunately, he's better at everything that I'm decent at. So it is what it is. But
Hey, I'll take that, baby. I'll take
she
that. As
told
long
me
as I'm
she
decent.
told she told me
Okay.
specifically she told me specifically like when I dance with her, I kind of throw her around a little bit, kind of pull her hard. She's like, yeah, when I danced with Caleb and Josh Stone, it was like easier. Like I don't know, you guys are more delicate
Look,
or some shit.
little
Oh,
smoother.
a little smoother is probably the right vernacular. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to
We've
ask
had a
you.
little more
So
practice at it, though.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, you guys are definitely more hick than me. I'm aspiring to get to your level. That's for sure, though. So I really appreciate you joining. I would like to do this. I think the Zoom, record to video, upload to YouTube kind of format is going to be cool. I think it's going to be good to have some face to face, and it's always good to see you, my friend. But
Always.
quick recap, Mr. Cox. Why don't you tell the boys here, now that you have this platform in front of all 10 teams, 11 teams, whatever it is, if you count me and Joseph, what did you think about Serbia before you visited? Like, what were your perceptions about Serbia before you visited?
To be honest, dude, didn't hardly even think twice about it. I had no idea about, other than Kosovo. The stuff going on with Kosovo is about the only, as far as my knowledge went. So getting to go over there and y'all teach us about the massive history of that place was mind blowing. The amount of wars and all that stuff, what has taken place in that country is unbelievable, and for it to still be standing the way it is phenomenal.
Yeah, I like how you say Kosovo. That's like such a Texan way to. No, who cares? I like it. Kosovo. It's such a Texan way to pronounce Kosovo.
Oh my gosh.
What's
okay,
up?
well, next, I guess, we're gonna get to your wedding stuff. I watched the video that you sent all of us, and I completely forgot about that the interview thing that they did with everybody.
And my mom wrote me today. She was like, "Kaleb is so drunk," and I was like, "He ain't that bad. I've seen him worse. I've seen him worse."
Hey, to only stumble on one word, I think that was pretty good.
It looked very heartfelt to me, like you were digging deep in your emotions.
Whenever I forget who the photographer was, he walked up and he's like, "Y'all want to say something?" I pushed him out of the way. I was like, "I got this. I'm gonna go first." So, I completely forgot that they had done that, and for y'all to put that in the video was just that was awesome and just hilarious at the same time. It brought me back to the video of In Your Yard singing to that song. Oh man. And Amanda even pointed out, she's like, "You sound kind of drunk." I was like, "Nah, what? Nah, it wasn't bad at all."
Not for Serbian standards. I think you were doing right as rain. Cheerio, bro.
Yes. Appreciate that, brate.
You got it, brate. You got it. All right. So you didn't have any misconceptions about Serbia before you came, but obviously you spent a good amount of time here. I think it was 4 or 5 days total. I know you went to Greece.
Yep.
You went to Athens. You spent some time in Athens. Everybody can get on Google and figure out what Greece is about before they go there. It's a very popular destination. Belgrade being a less popular destination. What did you think about Serbia after the trip?
I would definitely like to go back. The food there was absolutely phenomenal. The restaurants that y'all took us to, if I think I can hold off on the rakia for a little while. I think I have my fill. I think I have my fill of that for some time. Maybe when we do come back, I'll definitely still dabble in it because it's still good to drink. But I definitely had my fill of it. But man, the food, the amount of protein that is in just all the meals, even in the breakfast, lunch, dinner, it just protein packed to the max. And dude, you want to gain some weight? Go hit up. Now, that's a good thing about that. Also, just like in Amsterdam, there's not everybody walks and jogs and stuff everywhere. So everybody's in shape, even with the amount of protein that everybody eats. Like everybody's still just slender because it's up and down, walking everywhere. I think I walked probably 50 miles in those 4 days, or well, I guess 9 days that I was there, including in Athens. So the amount of walking that you do is incredible. So if you go over there, be ready for that. Be ready for the amount of walking that you're going to have to do. But enjoy the food, man. The food is probably my favorite part from the weather. The weather compared to here, top notch. I think the hottest it got there was like in the low 90s, but it still felt like it was in the mid 80s.
No,
maybe.
Man. No, you're way off. I think the hottest it got was probably 80.
Really?
Yeah, it was really perfect.
Well,
I couldn't.
I guess in Athens. In Athens, it got up.
Oh,
to
in Athens,
yeah.
Athens is a bit warmer, right? But here in
but shoot, it still didn't even feel like it.
Yeah. Well, you guys were shirtless on the beach. I mean, that helps. That'll cool you off a little bit. I saw the
Especially being
pictures.
right down that water. Man, the water was very nice. And
That's it.
you can what is it like a whenever you get out to like your chest, so like 3.5 foot deep, you can still see the bottom.
Yeah.
Like it's just clear, man.
Isn't that something, Kevin? Hey, listen,
Yeah.
so I didn't hear like a lot of stories about Greece, and I don't know if anybody has. So what was like the number one story about you and Josh Stone in Greece in Athens? If you okay, don't share something you shouldn't, by the way. All right. Maybe the
Oh man.
second best story.
Okay. Let's see. Man, I think the coolest thing that we got to do was go to see the Parthenon. That the coolest is probably that. The funniest that would be the top story would be something else. But yeah, we won't talk about. I'll let Stone tell that story to people who he wants to tell it to. But the Parthenon, man, to see that and to see so they're rebuilding the whole thing to try and bring it back to what it was when it was first built. They're using cranes and trucks and everything to move these big ass stones and everything to rebuild it. And it's like, we're doing this in 2023 this way. Like, how'd they do this 1,000+ years ago when it's just man? And you're on top of this mountain bringing granite rocks that weigh tons up this mountain and building this thing that's 80 feet tall. Like,
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
yes. Dude, we were up there for like 2 hours probably looking at all that stuff. And it's like, man, y'all were something else. So that was probably, I think, the coolest thing is to see that and just be mind blown that somebody that looks like me could do this with their bare hands.
Well, I also
Right?
think
Blows
somebody
my
that
mind.
looked like you probably had a lot of slaves to do the tough stuff. I don't know. Just a guess. You know, there's some history. But also, no, I think it's cool. In a lot of ways, Caleb, I feel like the older civilizations were more advanced than we are today, right? We've got all this machinery and stuff. But
yeah,
it is.
It is very crazy. But
Yeah.
so that was definitely cool to see. The beaches were nice.
Were they
different from what our beaches are? Because like our beaches, like you got a sand barge, I guess, from the water to where you come in. That's what 150 feet or more. Theirs are maybe 30 to 40 feet from the water is where you start walking in on them. It's just it's a difference, and it was crazy to see. So I would advise everybody to visit the world. It's a different culture, different everything, really.
Yeah, I tell everybody the same thing, man. Just take one trip to Europe, East Europe, someplace different, and just check it out. And I promise you,
Just
you'll
one
come
time.
back. By the way, Caleb, that was your second trip to Europe. Patrick's been there once, right? I think Joseph is, yeah.
Joseph and Stone went. Shoot, I don't even know now. It's probably been. I think Stone said like 5 years ago or so now.
Yeah, I think that first trip they went together was I think it was longer than that, Caleb. I want to say it was almost close to like 8 or 10 years ago. I was supposed to be on that trip with them. But
that's right. That's right. He did say that.
I think Joseph's been back 3 times now or so. But anyway, I'm a little biased towards Europe. So all right, cool. Wanted to cover that. Before we get into the GFL stuff, which we will talk about the current standings, of course, Pete's number 1. No surprise. Let's see if
Chad's
he can hold that.
Chad's got a decent thought on Pete. He does hard for a year, and then he'll kind of slack off for a year, and he'll hit it hard, slack off, hit it hard, and it's like his championships are like flip flopping here the last 5 years or so.
Well, if you're going one every 2 years, that's pretty good, Caleb. I mean,
I'd take them odds any day.
100%, 100%. Wanted to ask you. So we always talk about like high school stories, and obviously the entire league is built up of people that went to high school together. I wanted to ask you because I don't know if you've been asked before, at least publicly in the group. What is your favorite or most funny, high school story? Like what is your number one?
Oh man, I think my favorite one's got to be the senior prank. That was a definitely a classic one. to even have teachers high five us and get a good laugh out of it. I mean, just shows that it was a good prank. It was a harmless prank. Nobody got hurt. And there was a little stuff that was maybe pushed a little bit too far by some people, but that's what happens sometimes. But setting the dead fish and stuff around. Nobody really, I don't know a whole lot of people that know about the dead raccoon that was put up on top of that light. I think we got that out of there before a lot of people found that one or saw it. I was a little disappointed in the beginning because the first day it didn't really take hold, but that second day, man, after them got to cook, God,
Really,
man.
really, it was the third day. Let's remember.
Was it
Even the
was it
second
the
day
third
was
day?
kind of like oh, what's going on? The third day they had the doors open on both ends. Remember? 'Cause
Yeah.
then it really
Uh-huh.
stunk. And when we walked up to school, they had the doors open, and we knew we were like, oh shit. And so we just played it off. People were gagging in the hallways. It was hilarious. It was exactly what we
Great.
wanted.
Exactly what we wanted, man. It was so funny, man. And so I think that was probably my top favorite memory.
I
The
still remember
parties out at your house.
real quick on that topic. I still remember Jill
Yeah.
Cowie's dad, right? We caught the fish on Jill Cowie's land, and we must have caught like 8 fish or something. It was quite a bit of bass. And so when we got in trouble and I negotiated with Freddie McFarland or whatever, he asked, where did you get the fish? And I told him where we got the fish because he was threatening to call the police and been charged with felony. So yeah, we got the fish over here. And at the the party we did at graduation, like the day before or something, where we had like a luncheon. I can't remember. Jill Cowie's dad was there and he came up to me. He's like, so son, did you learn your lesson? And I looked at him. I was like, nah, I'd do it again 100%. It's a senior prank. Like, relax, everyone. You know what I mean?
It's funny.
And he was so disappointed in me. And I honestly, today, if he asked me the same thing, I'd tell him the same thing again. I'm like, I'd do it again.
Dude, it was a harmless prank. Nobody got hurt. It was funny. We cleaned it up. That was our punishment, and life goes on, man. I thought it was hilarious. A lot of people thought it was funny, man. Maybe not
I
while
think
they were gagging going down the hallway, but
I think the only person that got hot was, hurt was Miss Mackle's feelings, but she was pretty pissed.
I mean, she got a little targeted on that by somebody, but yeah,
We will not name names.
no names need to be named.
All good, all good. So how many years have you been in the GFL now, Kaleb?
I believe that this is my 4th year.
You're coming up on 4 years. Here we go.
Yeah, my first year did not do so hot. I kind of had the same problem that Pat's having this year, but Pat's been able to withhold his opponents, unlike I did. I won my first game, and then the second game, I think I lost like 3 or 4 of my top players, and it just went downhill from there. I ended up 11th in the league, and but Pat somehow still being able to just pull his wins out. He's 3-1, and he lost his top 3 backs in the first 2 weeks. The GFL gods are on his side.
Hey, he's pushing through pretty well. I'm proud of him. He's doing well.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's early. You never know what could happen, right?
I know. That's what I like about this.
Yeah. We've seen people start strong and weak. We've seen Joseph go from last with like a 1% chance to make the playoffs to winning the damn league. So.
I wish I'd have been in the league at that time to watch that happen. Whenever y'all told me about that, I was like, what?
Dude, that was the craziest thing. Like, he barely made the playoffs. He had like one of the worst teams in the league, and he just kept trading. And honestly, like, even if we go to this year, if we look at the transaction counter, it's here somewhere. You can see that Joseph's still making all the moves. So me and Joseph share a team, but basically what we do is I gave him all permissions after that run that he had where he won the championship. I gave him all permissions this year to just run the team, right? And I think this year he has like 35 transactions or something, including trades.
No way, dang.
Yeah, I don't know. Where's the freaking?
I think I may have 5 or 6 in total.
All right, so he's got 15 acquisitions, 16 drops, and 1 trade, and he's activated 22 different players. So he's running it deep. Yeah, dude.
He's done 32 activations. Holy crap!
Yeah, Pete's flip-flopping on Sunday mornings.
I did that
Crazy.
the other day, and it ended up screwing me. It was in my other league, though. I flip-flopped Addison for Thielen, and Addison had nothing, and Thielen went for 12, and I think I ended up losing by like 10 or 11. I was so irritated about that. I couldn't believe I did it, and I did it a last-minute thing. I think there was 15 minutes before the game started. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And no, bad idea.
The main thing is, Caleb, you're a great person, as Coach Sumner would say.
Yeah, Coach Sumner. He's that Sumner intelligence.
Speaking of, I wanted to ask you, so Nate Sumner seems to be a bit of a prodigy, right? So last year, because of time zones, he drafted my team. And when I woke up that next morning, I looked at the team and I could not believe the team I had. I really could not believe the team I had. It was the best team I had personally ever seen for anyone. It was unbelievable. Like every slot was a big name. And I wonder, because when we go through the drafts ourselves, those people are available, but the way he's able to put it together is just incredible. So what do you think about Nate? I mean, he did
the same thing.
He did it again this year, right? I'm almost scared to let him in the league. I know there's talk about adding him as the 12th team. I don't know if we want that guy in the league. I don't know. He's really good.
Now, don't get me wrong, man. I like the competition. I love competition. But for him to do that 2 years in a row, have probably two of the best drafts out of what's that, 22 team drafts?
Well, for 2 years, it would be 24.
That's what because 12 last year and 10 this year. That's 22.
You're right. You're
yeah.
better at math.
So, but two out of 22, dude. That's for him to have the two best out of 22.
So who did he draft for this year? Was it Josh?
Yeah, Stone, because he was flying.
All right.
He was doing work. So, and there's a lot of people that say that needs to do just an auto draft. And I mean,
that would be the most fair way to do it.
I think the team would still come out similar, but Nate still puts it together where it works out in your favor in the long run, because I think he still picks the guys who aren't going to have the same bye weeks.
So
down the road.
Is that what he's doing? Well, that's deep.
I think so. I haven't actually looked into Stone's team to see if that, other than I guess Mahomes and Kelsey, of course, which I still don't know how he got both those motherfuckers on the same team. I don't understand that. But other than and then Bucker, his kicker. But I mean, shoot, even with those three, if your team does well enough, you could sit out a week with those three being gone and still have a chance to run at the playoffs. So,
all right, well, let's take a look at the draft, right? So Nate took Travis Kelce, number 1. All right. Second round, he took Tyreek Hill. Third round, he took Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's a hell of a lineup right there. And then fourth round,
first 3 picks.
What's that?
I said, his first 3 picks were just perfect for him.
And then he got Najee Harris, 4th round. And then 5th round, he took Keenan Allen, really good. 6th round, he took Alexander Madison. 7th, he took Chris Godwin. 8th, he took Dalvin Cook. Round 9, Christian Kirk. Round 10, he took Brandon Cooks. Round 11, he took Harrison Butler. And I think we're getting a little deep here.
But I mean, just his first 4 or 5 rounds, though, dude, he pretty much nailed everybody to the freaking wall with it.
Yeah, he's really good. And like, I remember when I woke up, like I was saying, and I looked at my team, the star power in the names. You know, I don't watch NFL a lot these days, but I looked at the team and I said, I know every single one of these guys. And I was fired up. And what I did last year as a strategy, I don't think I changed the team the entire year. I didn't pick up or add anyone or drop anyone. I just kept it the exact same way because I figured it would carry me through. And I did make it to the playoffs, and I lost year 1 or round 1.
I can't remember. I think I may have made one trade with Brody last year, possibly, or I may have just kept my team as it was. I can't remember now. But I mean, shoot, in the 3 years that I've made playoffs twice. The only year I didn't was my first year, and it's far as long as my team will stay healthy, I've got a good chance to make the playoffs my fourth year also.
Yeah, you've done good. I think a lot of people doubted you coming in as a new player, and you've done well.
I
And
definitely
I
don't
think,
know as much as a lot of y'all, man. Like I'll tell you first up, my NFL knowledge is probably below everybody in this league. I think a lot of luck has to do play into this game as well, as far as injuries and all that crap goes. So I think I've been lucky, other than the first year where I had those 3 or 4 guys go out in the first 2 weeks, and then I was kind of just screwed. But since then, I've been lucky enough that injuries haven't really plagued me. This year, I've had some guys go down, and it's been a little rough on a couple weeks, but I've been decently lucky, so I'll take it.
all right. Well, I think you're doing all right, man. Honestly, you've impressed a lot of us in the first few years that you've joined. In terms of this year, right? You've had a chance to look at the teams a bit. The big Buffalo brand sitting at number 6. You've got Forever Hung at 8. Who's your dark horse this year? Is there a roster you're looking at? You're like, man, they're kind of underperforming.
Stones, I think, really. I mean, I would think that he would be better than 2-2 right now, but I haven't gotten to look at his first. What week are we in? 4 or 5? We're 3-1, so we're in week 5. Yeah, I haven't gotten to look at his first 4 games to see what actually happened. But for his, like we were talking about, his powerhouse team that he has, for him to be 2-2 is a little weird to me, I think. And like we were saying earlier, Pat's team being injury riddled, for him to be 3-1 is like, it's weird how some of these things play out sometimes. Some people don't perform some weeks like they're supposed to, and that's the bet you take going into this.
Yeah, no doubt. Here's week 1 for Josh.
See,
116
he
to
had
82.
had a 116 week.
All right. Let's take a look at week 2. All right, he lost 96 to, okay, pretty close game. To Aaron Bell, 96 to
20 points. 20 points less that week than he did the first week. So they had some guys who didn't perform.
And then week 3.
Shoot, then week 3, 150.
And here's the thing I want to say, like when you look at these scores, the teams that can bust a 150, 120, 130 every other week, those are the teams that are scary, because if they have a good week, they're going to beat you no matter what.
Andy's team, he's doing that same thing. The first 2 weeks, these last 2 weeks, man, Fields 4 touchdowns 2 weeks in a row, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So wait, hold up. What did Stone do last week? He lost last week, I guess. Then, huh?
Yeah, he did. I think he scored about 100 or so. 100 to 120.
100, yeah. See, and Pete's team is just a steady 100 plus. So he's just steadily. I think he only had 1 week. He may have been like right around 100 or something. But his team is definitely going to be one to beat this year. So if you
this year, every year, damn it,
Pete, I'm sorry. If you win a 4th one this year, you son of a bitch, I'm gonna.
Listen, there's a reason I call it the PTL, or excuse me, the CTL, the Cruises Tax League. We're all just paying for Pete's beer money, and we don't realize it. Now we have some good talent in here, like Andrew Sumner. These other guys are starting to win. Cameron got himself a championship. But overall, if you do the average, every year, everybody contributes about, I think, $70 to $80 to Pete. You know,
pretty much, yeah.
And I hope he's drinking good beer, not that Busch Light like Bill Sherry.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, man. All right. So what do you think is like when you go into a draft, everybody has a different strategy, right? My strategy is do as little preparation as possible and just try to draft big names. It doesn't really work out that well. But are you one of the guys like Pete who will read the magazines and do the research and do probably 10 mock drafts before the actual draft and really try to like hone it in? Or do you kind of wing it a little bit more?
Oh, no, I'm definitely a winger. And shoot, Pete does even more than that. I don't even know that he reads magazines and stuff. He's been prepping for this for the last 30 years of his life. He's been paying attention to high school prospects, college prospects, watching them just grow up all the way to the NFL. So he knows who he's going to pick the next. He probably knows what his draft's going to be 10 years down the road, and you don't even know. So, like, yeah, I wish I could retain that knowledge that Pete has. It blows my mind what he can do with his drafts. Also, it's crazy. So no, but me and Andy were talking about that because we did our draft from Andy's house this year, and he asked me that same thing. He was like, "Did you do like Pete? Did you do your preparation?" I was like, "Nope. I screenshot the draft order pretty much on my phone, and I'm gonna go off of that. Kind of do bigger names because, like, I think I want to say that's where because I think that Nate was right before me because I had the 10th pick, and I believe Nate was 9. Stone, and I had the chance to take Tyreek from him, and I know Tyreek's a big bust out player, but he has those games where they're double teaming, triple teaming, he ain't getting nothing. So if he's like your main breakout player and he's not performing, it kind of puts your team in a tank. So I made the choice to pass on him, and that's kind of why I know why Nate got him. But the rest of his team, I didn't really watch that, but that one I did pay attention to the fact that I did pass up on Tyreek so that he took him, but I just didn't feel like Tyreek was gonna help my team throughout the whole year. So yeah, we'll see. And right now, it's not really working out in my favor because he's doing.
Yeah, but
I think
you could be right.
Yeah,
The
he's
production
doing
level,
good right now.
There's a
He's doing
production
like
band,
20,
right?
30.
So
Yeah, they're going to find out what their game plan is all the time, and they're going to start double teaming him and figuring out what he's doing. So towards the middle of the year, he may not be putting up those 20, 30-point games like he'd been doing. He may only be doing like 10 or 5, like DK Metcalf did to me the year I lost to Pete in the championship. Son of a bitch. That still irks me, man.
Speaking of Pete, so Pete's like the to me, the most interesting topic of the GFL because, I do bag on Pete a lot, but you got to respect what he does. He wins, right? He wins. And I think Pete, you brought up something that was really interesting to me because we don't talk about it a lot, but he really does have an acute advantage by following guys from high school into college and then to the pros.
Mm-hmm.
Because even the scouts can't really nail who the good players are, but Pete somehow should be a scout in my opinion because he really does a good job.
He
really could be a
job.
scout. Yeah.
I think so. I think he's got the ability.
100%. I think you could totally do it. And as much as I bag on him for oogling over high schoolers, that shit works in fantasy. And his win percentage is amazing, and he consistently is good. And,
consistent. I think he should do this part right here professionally. I think he could get into those like $1,000 leagues and stuff like that and compete at them. He's damn good at it.
Yeah, I wonder if he would do that, right? Because once you get into that level of fantasy football player, they're probably all Pete's, or probably even better. Right?
Oh yeah,
$1,000 buy-in. They're probably all taking it very, 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 very seriously. So
very seriously.
But yeah, I think the GFL or the GFFL, as some people like to claim it as, I think it's a good thing for all of us. It helps us keep in touch. I wanted to ask you, do you think the GFL has strengthened your relationships with people that we grew up with?
Definitely. I mean, before I got back into the league, I don't remember the last time I'd actually gotten to talk to Andy. So getting to see his chats come through the message and stay stuff to him. We got to go to his house for the draft this year and see him. So definitely brought that person back into my life. So I'm very appreciative of that. So I think it definitely does keep us in here. And I'm sorry, Brody had to leave. But I mean, shoot, he still stays in the chat and he still talks with us and stuff, even though he's not part of the actual league, but it definitely keeps a conversation between us. If there's a stale point, we've always got football going on. Even if football's not going on, we still got the chat that even if life stuff is happening, we'll put it in there and just talk about that. So it definitely keeps our friendship around, I believe. At least helps it to. I wouldn't say it keeps it around. It helps to keep it around, So I'm definitely glad that I got to become a part of it when Bonnet got out. I'm I'm sad that Bonner got out. We still hang out with Bonner, even though he's not part of the league, and he's still our friend too. But to get to have this camaraderie and get to keep doing this type of stuff is definitely a high in my book.
Well, I love you, Caleb. And I think one thing about you, if I can compliment you a little bit, is you still hang out with everyone, right? You know, there's no divisions ever with Caleb Cox. You, yeah, man, you treat us all like we're number one, and we appreciate you. And I got to say, over the years, I've come to appreciate you much more. And I feel like me and you are way closer than we used to be. Even though we always liked each other, right? But like nowadays, I'm like, oh, Caleb is such an ace in my book. I can always count on this guy. And anyway, that's about you, but yeah.
I can't wait to come back over there. I know it's going to be a while because, I mean, like we came back in 2019. It took me another 4 years to get over there. Hopefully it won't take as long for us to get back. And this next time Amanda will get to come and get to experience what I got to whenever I got to come for your wedding. So hopefully it won't be 4 years. I'm thinking more like 2 at most.
Well, I'll do you one better. I'll do you one better. That's great. You guys come over here. It's expensive, and I understand all that. It's not as easy. But I'll see you in February, sir.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm coming. You know I come to USA once a year at least.
Shoot, but February, man, that's close. That's what, 4 months? Dude, that's gonna come by in a blink of an eye.
Yep. I've got one of my clients has a conference we don't know yet, Vegas or Phoenix, but I'm gonna go there, and then I'll probably fly to Austin and rent a car, come see you guys.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what's up, man. I can't wait for that.
It's gonna be cold.
So how long are you supposed to be in town for?
Well, it's really up to me, but I think the conference is probably 3 or 4 days, and then I'll probably take 7 to 10 days off and just
come down, see everybody.
Hop on an airplane, go see Patrick and the baby, and your baby Braxton, and everybody else.
So if you go into Phoenix, will you go stay with Gabe?
Yeah, I'll go see Gabe. Yeah, that would be rude if I didn't, right? No, I'll go say what's up to Gabe. We'll probably stay a day or two there, and then anyway, we'll come to Austin. But
will Ivana come with you, or is it just a work trip?
No, I got her a 10-year visa. She's good, so she'll be coming with.
I mean, that's what I really want to see anyway. Who cares about you?
Yeah, come on. I'm old news. I get it, pal. Came to the wedding, like, look at this person, much better than Xavier. How did he get so lucky? New best friend.
Better, talks better. I mean, she's just better,
That's for sure. I'm not going to argue with you. All right, cool. Next question I have. This is a fun one, Caleb. All right. So I want you to dig deep into your memory banks. But who do you think is like the biggest rivalry in the league? If there is one, like when these teams match up, you're like, oh shit, who's going to win this one?
Oh man. So seeing as how I've only been in the league for 4 years, I'm trying to go through our list of people here. I think I definitely like to see yours and Pete's game, because the amount of shit talk that y'all just do on a normal basis is funny. But whenever you get to like playing a game together and to see that head to head go together, probably my favorite. Apart from, I guess, when you're looking at, I like to watch a good game, period. Like just to watch a head to head go. But to just, I guess, if you had to pick 2 individuals, yours and Pete would probably be my favorite to watch, even if it's a blowout, 50 points or something. It's still just fun, because then the shit talking really goes down. Whoever's ahead, and I get a good kick out of watching y'all's banner for sure. I like it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people dog the shit talk, right? Like me and Pete go at each other for all sorts of stuff, football and non-football especially, right?
Yeah.
But it makes the matchup in fantasy a lot better. And man, we got to remember, growing up, he was the ultimate shit talker. He would shit talk you for anything, right? He would just bag. He was like kind of a bully verbally. And so when I go at him, I like to remember that and really try to go at him. But Pete wins more than he loses. But I feel like last year in the regular season, I beat him a couple times. Or at least once, from what I remember. And that feels good.
Yeah.
Every time I beat Pete, it feels good. I don't care if he takes the ship that year, it feels great. All the other rivalry I like to see, or the game that I get excited to watch, is Josh Stone versus Andrew Something, because they always have good teams. And we don't spend enough time on Josh Stone. This guy came in the league and has a good fucking team, pardon my language, kids, every single year. It's like a powerhouse team, and he impresses me. And I think next week I would love to have him on with me and you, since you're doing this with me every week. You've committed to it now. No, but it would be great to have Josh on. I want to understand his draft strategy, because minus this year, which was Nate, he always has a good team.
And he actually even said the same thing you did earlier about when Nate drafted for you, that it was probably the best team that had been drafted for you. Stone said the exact same thing. He was like, I don't think I've drafted a team that good since I've been in the league. And he even made a good point. He said that if he does end up winning with this team, because I don't know, has he made any trades with anybody? He may have like done some pickups and drops, but I don't know that he's made any trades. And he said that if he does end up winning, that he knows that Nate did a lot of that work for him. So he said he's probably going to slip him a little something if he does win it, but hopefully that doesn't happen, because I don't know that it's been done that somebody's won it back-to-back years. And I don't like to see stuff like that happen. I don't like to see a little alternation, you know what I'm saying? So whatever we can do, yes. And so whatever we can do, anybody make some trades with Stone and get some of them players off of his freaking team, because he doesn't need to win it 2 years in a row, guys. Come on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Nobody's won it 2 years in a row. I think that is probably one of the hardest things to do, is win it 2 years in a row.
Especially whenever it comes down to like what your draft pick is.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So let's say you get first, and then you end up getting like the 7th pick. That's really difficult to win it again with that positioning. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think people like Pete are really good, because throughout the year he's wheeling, dealing, picking up players. I mean, how many years has it been? And I know you've only been with us for 4. How many years have we had, guys, where Pete will pick up some no name in week 2, and that person ends up being like the 3rd best running back or the 5th best running back? That's like Pete's forte. He's really
I've
good
heard
at the
y'all
waiver.
say that. I've heard y'all say that many times, that he's very good at that waiver wire and picking up after, like, once that waiver wire hits and nobody's picked that up, like Pete's right on it, man. He's like, that guy's mine. He's mine. I'm taking him. And that for a few weeks and even the rest of the year sometimes, like that player has just done him very well. And that's where his knowledge base comes in. He's like, oh, I've been watching this guy for 10 years and I know that he's going to be good. I'm taking him. Nobody else knows about him. But Pete, I watched him play high school ball 10 years ago, and he's like, I remember this dude. And
yeah, dude,
man, he's so good at it. And
but also jealous. Like he's strategic in a way. So if he knows like one of these guys that he's been watching for 10 years is very good, but they're the number 2, he'll draft them and wait. And then that number 1 gets hurt, and then that's the new number 1, right?
Yeah, he's got their backup.
Yeah. All right, so quick recap. Overall league, we've got Broken Knees 3-1, Forever Hung 1-3, Bass Cooker, Josh Stone. That's you, Caleb, right?
I'm Bass Cooker, yep.
Bass Cooker 2-2, Josh Stone 2-2, Big Buffalo Brand 2-2, Run CMC 3-1, Mother Trucker 2-2, and Pete Crucis, of course, top of the list 3-1. Play on Words 1-3, and I'm feeling a chub coming on. I believe that's Chad 1-3. Last thing I wanted to talk real quick. There's been 4 trades this year in the GFL, and we're in week 4. So we're averaging 1 a week, by the way. And historically, yeah, it's pretty amazing. I like to see it. I think we're opening up a little bit to the trades and people are actually accepting them. But previously, historically, for the GFL, people really didn't trade that much. Definitely not 4 in the first 4 weeks. To me, Joseph can fact check me, but I believe that's kind of unheard of. 1 a week. Yeah. So
I remember Birdie saying that last year.
Yeah, it's kind of rare, but I like to see that move in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, because that actually gets that, again, like we talk about the camaraderie, that gets people talking more and stuff starts happening and everything is moved around. And that's how the game changes. I mean, if you stay stale, it's always going to be the same thing. So you gotta keep motion moving.
You gotta keep motion moving. I love it.
You like how I did that?
By the way, give me some compliments on my dump truck here, my trash truck. You like that?
I said something about that in the beginning, man. How did you do that? Did you do that on your own, like on your computer or something?
No, man, it's amazing what you can find when you Google GFL and click on images. So this
That's
is like a
so
legit company somewhere in Ohio, I think. I don't know.
that's hilarious.
Green for life. So yeah, that's my new logo.
Okay. That's pretty funny. That is good. I do like the color too. I'm a big fan of the color green.
Yeah, baby. I bet you are.
And look at that jacket
Okay.
you got on, pal. It looks lovely.
Hey, a little velvet green, no big deal.
Dude, I like that jacket, man.
I got two of them. I'll give you one next time you come. All right. Well, I think that's it, man. I gotta let you take care of your children now. Hopefully we do this every week. Probably not, though. We've heard many commitments to the podcast over the years. Everybody's kind of dropped out, myself included, Brody most recently. But yeah, I would like to do this maybe once every, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. We'll see how the boys like it.
Well, I do know that this week or this next weekend is going to be pretty busy. We're going to be at Pat's helping them do put a playscape and stuff together, and then we're doing Halloween something or other. I'm not really sure, so I don't know that I'd be a part of this next weekend. But the weekend after, we could probably set something up again if you wanted to.
Sounds good. I'll see you Sunday that weekend. Brate.
I brate.
All right, man. See you later. Long live the GFL.
Long live.